Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with more Gran Turismo 7. This time around we're here for round 2 of the Nations Cup exhibition series. Of course, apologies that there was no video from the manufacturer series over the weekend. Hopefully it is going to be resuming now. I was still trying to fix things with my computers, but yeah, we should be back to normal with some more Gran Turismo content. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit scared. I don't know what's going on in Japan at the moment, but it's making me nervous because this thing is mental. We had the 787B at Daytona last week, which was kind of crazy. This week we've got the Porsche 917 Living Legend, which is basically a remake of the iconic 917, of course, that won Le Mans all those years ago. 1,000 horsepower. This thing weighs 1,200 kilos. It's just a rocket ship, and around Trial Mountain, it's going to try and take off and kill me at least once. Damn! Oh no! Oh no, that's not gone well. We've got to try and set ourselves up for the best run possible at that final corner. Are we going to get a penalty? Nope. We can keep going backwards. Slightly longer. Right. We've only got one shot of this. I've been a bit cheeky trying to reset myself, but we're still not going to quite get the best run out of the final turn, but it's going to have to do. One more run at this thing. It's absolutely mental, this car. 215 miles an hour we're approaching down in towards the hairpin. It's just ridiculous. Off the final corner, it's not going to be a particularly great lap as we come up towards the start-finish line. There are way too many mistakes in the first part, but still good enough to put us mid-table then in P8 there. Pole position over a second clear of anyone else there. 140.6 is a very, very quick time, but got to get on with it. Let's get into the race. Right, let's do this thing then. Here, Trial Mountain starting P9 then, so one car did go quicker than me right towards the end of the session. But shout-outs to P3. They've got quite possibly the coolest livery I've ever seen with the Planet Express paint on the car there. Absolutely love seeing that on the grid rundown. I'm starting on mediums, where then going to go softs in the second half of this race. Thought it may as well just try and be quicker later on. I'm expecting there to be a lot of chaos and carnage early in this race. But if you're new around here, make sure you get yourself a subscriber. Less than 100 away from 6k even, I should say. But let's do this thing then. And a bit annoyed that it's going to leave us hanging around in third gear there. First gear of the launchers. Clearly the Italian in front was well aware of that, able to shift the car up very, very early. It's down in towards one. We are going to get punted from behind, and I think he's just shot around himself. That is quite impressive, very, very early on in this race. But like I said, of course, starting on those mediums going to have a bit less grip than the softs. Whoa, we're able to provide us there. So that is a big 1,000 horsepower drift in towards the next corner there. Thanks, I think. The Italians are ganging up on me, it feels like, at the start of this one. But like I said, the race should come back to us later on. It probably will only be, you know, the first lap or so that we've got a significant disadvantage. So someone slaps the wall there as we head down in towards the tunnel. But yeah, I mean, from second downwards, it was actually pretty competitive pace-wise. So it should be quite an interesting race sort of see what happens there. Just look at the speedo climb. 213 miles an hour down in towards the hairpin. Am I going to get punted again? Nope, someone got very, very close. Down at the next hairpin there. Car in front of me now with a 1.5 second penalty. That is not the line up through there though, as we'll basically slide back across the circuit there, and the car with a penalty going to give me a freebie then. So we are still P9 as we head in towards the final couple of corners of lap 1, but there is still plenty going on behind us. Like I said, we've just got to be patient. This race should theoretically come back to me later on. It's just got to be really careful. Yellow flags. Everyone's car tries to slide through there, as we will actually gain a place then on this opening lap. Like I said, I was expecting carnage, but I think if we can try and keep up with the Italian in front, we've got 2 Frenchmen behind us. It's just going to be settle down, get some laps, build up confidence, and try not to die. I mean, there is just an absolute gaggle of cars in front now. I think this does extend all the way up to P2. So the leader has absolutely bolted then early on in this race, but everyone else behind him is still duking out. There's one car then with a penalty. That's going to be the Spaniard navigated then up to P7 as we start lap 3. Tyre wear on these mediums doesn't seem too bad. It's just a case of whether we go 8 or 9 laps, really, I think, is probably the big question today. Is you've really got to chuck it over that curbing. You are sometimes getting all 4 wheels in the air through there. It's just, I mean, you're even getting lift off as you try and get on the front lap out of the tunnel here. I mean, look at that. It just lifts up slightly at the front end. I did it a lot worse last time round. Am I going to get punted? Nope, we got away with that again. Looks like some people are being fairly civilised in A-class, but yeah, we'll see. What I am very, very impressed though with this car is the fact it's got 1,000 horsepower, weighs just over a ton, but still, it feels incredibly planted at the rear end. I looked at the stats and thought this is going to need traction control, but whenever I race anything on GT7, I just double check first, because obviously a lot of cars don't. I mean, I had to with the Mazda. Oh! There's the Planet Express car that I've mentioned in the intro. But, yeah, I had to use some traction in the Mazda. I've had to use it in the X 2019 as well. So this guy now is going to send it. Thanks. That was a touring car style move. But, yeah, this thing actually, it honestly feels like it's got it feels like it's got 4-wheel drive. I know it is only rear, but it does feel very, very planted for the most part. There's, yeah, hopefully a lot of these cars that are going quicker than me still are on the softs. But I'm thinking, to be honest, end of lap 7 is going to be the way to go strategy-wise. To box in and then hopefully be quick. Sorry, end of lap 8 even. To be quick towards the end as this guy closing in. Not going to send it this time. Or as we slide the car into the apex on the rear end there, just nick the inside wall. Oh, big dive bomb coming in at the final corner there. We've got a Czechoslovakian guy, I think. Or Czech Republic even, battling out just in front of me. He's got a penalty to serve though, so this one might be a bit of a freebie there as he's going to try and peel over off the racing line into P6 then we go. And I'm starting to wonder whether more cars are doing the same strategy as me and we've just not had much confidence early on in this race. But whoa, that's what I mean. It just completely lifts off the floor. It just wants to take off. This isn't a 917 tribute. This is the Mercedes CLK GTR tribute, the way this thing handles around here. But, oh no, that's annoying. Thanks for the push. I meant that seriously then. I wasn't being sarcastic there. But, yeah, we're just trying to keep it on the island at the moment. Funnily enough, obviously 1,000 horsepower through the rear wheels. You are slowly but surely shredding them. This guy in front of me there just nicks the wheels. He's sparks showering across the circuit in the process, but yeah, we've got to go at least one more here, but I'm not confident the softs are going to be particularly fun. We'll wait and see. That is late on the brakes. Late. I'm getting very, very lucky with the fact the rear end's sliding the right way into that braking zone every time. I've got to start braking before the curb there. Not getting the best run out of the final corner, but the Spaniard even, I should say, into the pit lane then. We're going to be drag racing back down towards turn 1. Surely he's not going to try it down around the outside. He's absolutely mugged me. Absolutely had me there. We are going to come back at him off the corner. Try and regain any shred of respect I've still got, and luckily we will. Because that was an audacious move around the outside there. But we have hung on. This is actually turning into a decent little battle then in in this race, as I thought there he was going to try and bait me back to the inside, so we just sat in the middle of the road, but it's not allowing either of us to close it to the Italian as quickly as I would have wanted, as you do not need second gear through there, and this is the problem. Just upsets the rear of the car as he's going to get to the inside there. I wanted to try and get back underneath him. But yeah, definitely starting to struggle on this set of tyres, but the softs aren't going to be anywhere near as good lasting. Do we just stay out one extra one? It looks like a lot of cars have either been a lot more gentle on their tyres or are really trying to stretch them, or of course have gone the same strategy as me. Perhaps everyone's trying to do the alternate on each other, as we might see a couple of the medium runners into the pits at the end of this lap. So there we go, leader was on mediums. Guy in front of me just runs a little bit wide, so he wants to try and take a set of softs to the end. I think we are going to be better off going one lap longer. P2 was on softs. No! God, I'm so sorry. I mean, you did kind of come across me, but I was kind of half expecting that. We are going to be the last car staying out there then, so hopefully we're not going to have to face the wrath of those soft tyres as badly as everyone else towards the end. But 9 laps on these, they are going to be pretty damn shredded. As it looks like, yeah, a lot of other cars, of course, coming out onto fresh mediums, so we still should have a pace advantage. That's wide. But we hang on again. Sometimes this car does grip up. Right, into the pits we'll go then at the end of this lap. Oh, don't loop it. Oh, am I going to get a penalty for crossing pit entry line? I don't know, but, I mean, how on earth do you go that quickly into a pit lane? I will never quite understand. Don't need any fuel, though, at the very least. So, fingers crossed we get a nice... I love the fact I just speak like I'm on F1. Fingers crossed we get a nice, tidy stop, of course, because that matters on Gran Turismo. Not that everyone is going to get exactly the same pit stop. Looks like there were quite a few cars behind me, though, that hadn't peeled into the pits yet. So, we should be one of the quicker vehicles, like I said, into the second half of this race, towards the front of the roster. Where are we going to re-emerge, actually, when all is said and done? We are going to be back out in P5, then. So we're not doing too badly here. That is way too hot, though, in towards turn 1. Just slam the brakes and try to hang on to it. You know what? We could still be on for a podium. 2 cars in front of me are going to be slower. And that Spaniard in P3, of course, was the one that did the touring car move on me. Or we're just going to get sent to the shadow round. Thanks for that. Well, 3 laps to go then here from Trial Mountain, and sadly it's looking like we're kind of just driving into a space of nothingness towards the end of this race. Definitely haven't got a pace to close it to the Italian that turned me. But, whoa! Ow! That was not great. Well, I've just jinxed myself with my space of nothingness, haven't I? Well and truly, but now we're going to lose a place. Plenty of damage on the rear end as well, so we're going to have to serve a penalty at the end of this lap and try to recover now my P6. That is a bit of a disaster. Have not had that so far in this car. It's tried it a couple of times, but I thought it was just going to keep trying it rather than actually doing it. It's all turning into a bit of a disaster here. We've got plenty of damage now. 3 seconds worth of penalties. I'm not too sure in what world the game believed I gained a second and a half out of that, but we've got 3 cars right behind us as well. I've well and truly kind of screwed myself late on here. This has gone downhill quite rapidly. Right, let's serve this penalty then. 2 laps to go of this race, and we're going to lose, I think, 3 places from this one. Let's go. Come on. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. So we need to try and recover back up into 7th place here. I do not want to be finishing 10th in the Nations Cup. We had a decent race in the Mazdas, but I mean, this one we could still be on for an okay result, but certainly not quite as good. That one just really did seem to settle down into a rhythm with the 787B that, I'll be honest, even surprised me looking back at it. But yeah, the 917, especially around Trial Mountain, is a bit of a scary, scary combo. So we'll try immediately all over the back of the Austrian here as we wind our way through this tight, twisty mountain. Well, I mean, it's all mountainous, isn't it? It's Trial Mountain, that. Just give him a little bit, you know, a little bit of a go faster tap, if you will. And look at the run we're able to get heading out onto the back straight there. Soft tyres versus mediums. Although these softs are looking pretty worn out at this stage. We should be able to slot back in. Yes, we will. Sure, he's not going to try and come back into the corner. No, he will. Okay, yes, he will. I was not expecting that one. I broke late, and he broke even later. But we will make it back through. Just over 1 lap to go now. We've got these two still squabbling just in front of me. That's not going to quite be the line through there, my friend. Does recover it. It's Matt versus the French then. With 1 lap left. Here at Trial Mountain. Oh, that's close. Almost into the back of him. So we head down the hill. And I mean, look at the extra grip we've got from these soft compound tyres. They're tilling inside. We'll go. Be careful not to spin on the apex. All of us trying to be careful there. The other Frenchman almost bins his iron way too shallow in towards the final corner. Luckily, though, able to get the car back into third gear and rotated, which just allows you such a better run out of that final turn. But 1 lap to go then here from Trial Mountain. It looks like the Irishman who's absolutely dominated this one is going to walk away with the victory there. There was a tiny part of me, whoa, that was kind of hoping the Spaniard and the Italian that both took me out might come together between them, but doesn't look like they're going to be particularly close come the checkered flag. But we just need to focus up on this final lap, just keep doing what we're doing, keep hitting the marks, and we might just be able to finish where we... Oh no, it wouldn't be where we started. We did start P9 in this race, not P7, so a couple of places gained is not too shabby come the checkered flag there. We've just got to be so careful. There's a little divot out in that inside corner there that you've got to be so careful that you don't nick, because it can really compromise you. As gaining a little bit on the Frenchman in front, but are we going to be able to do anything in this final sector there? We have got softer tyres, but they're all pretty worn out at this point, as that is a bit too deep in towards the hairpin. Once more, try and gather up the throttle once you get into third gear. They're trying to put 1,000 ponies down with the car all over the road there. As you can just see, it's moving around underneath me so much in towards these final few corners. Are we going to get any sort of window? We need to try and get a nice tidy run through here, tap the curbs nicely and pick up the throttle on the exit. It's going to come down in towards the final couple of corners. Can I send it here? Not quite close enough. So we'll see. Oh, I've taken way too much curb there. That's been a bit of a disaster. Through the final corner we'll go, though. I think this guy... Oh, no! No, dearie me. Dearie me. Oh, we're going to lose places. We're going to lose so many places as we head up towards the line. Are we going to lose another one? I think we are going to come through for P10 then. Such a disaster. Such a disaster. Here in Gran. I'm going to lose P10, aren't I? We're going to come 11th in this. Come on, get to the line. Beat this guy. Come on, no. Oh, P11. I mean, we had a second penalty anyway, so it wouldn't make much difference. That is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking to end the race there. But thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. NASCAR Cup Series opening round from the Clash at LA Coliseum will be live tomorrow as well, so definitely want to get yourself subbed for more sim racing content.